I heard the joke 2 years ago.
And you're still laughing at it?
Well, I just got the punchline. That's it.
Look, I don't want to sound disrespectful, Dad, but aren't you a little slow? I mean, 2 years.
Now, wait a minute, son. Wait a minute. You're forgetting one of my most popular proverbs. He who laughs last, laughs best.
I smell a fable coming up.
Which reminds me of a fable.
Now, you see?
Not too far away and not too close either, there was a desert, the driest, most uninhabited piece of real estate you ever saw. Outside of the sand, the only thing that moved was 2 jackrabbits who were prospecting for gold.
Hey, look at that, Charlie. You know what that is? That is high-grade dirt. Date? Date. But don't you worry, old pal. One of these days we'll strike it rich. Come on, let's get some water.
The only wet spot in the entire desert was a small outdoor restaurant operating.
It was to safeguard life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and property. You should be secure, like the Fourth Amendment says, in your persons, houses, papers, and effects. But there will be men who come along, charlatans, psychopaths, narcissists, corrupt people of evil means, as some of the founding fathers wrote, and they will pretend that they care about your life, that they care about your property, that they care about safeguarding you and your family. And then they're going to offer all these good intentions. And Daniel Webster says, good intentions will always be pleaded for every assumption of authority. Every assumption of authority. They'll pretend they're there for your good. And yet, they will do the exact opposite of what they say they're there for. Webster said, there are men in all ages who mean to govern well, but they mean to govern. They promise to be good masters, but they mean to be your master. And there is no greater master than a lender. The borrower will always be servant to the lender. And so what you're seeing today in today's cultural and economic Marxism is an unleashing of mountains and mountains of debt being shoved onto you and me by the Federal Reserve Zionist International Banking Cartel. And then you got articles like this right here from the Rolling Stone, leftist Rolling Stone. They're very biased. DOJ wants to suspend certain constitutional rights during coronavirus emergency, like they care about that. These anti-gunners. The Department of Justice has secretly asked Congress for the ability to detain arrested people indefinitely, in addition to other powers that one expert called terrifying. The Trump Department of Justice has asked Congress to craft legislation allowing chief judges to indefinitely hold people without trial and suspend other constitutionally protected rights. Oh, you mean like the right to keep and bear arms, Rolling Stone? Which you are 100% against, you bunch of hypocrites? And what do you care about?
Now, it's not like we didn't throw a bunch of Japanese descent people in jail and violate the Constitution. It's been going on. You know, I'm sorry, the Constitution has been suspended for years. We've been in a perpetual state of emergency. And every time, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, every time they get in, they play the same game.
But indefinitely detaining people. Remember Obama? Remember the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, which gave the president and others powers to indefinitely detain people without charge, trial, or due process of law? These people don't care about justice. Rolling Stone and Politico, which we're going to look at Politico in a second, they don't care about your constitutional rights. They don't give a damn about any of that. The Trump Department of Justice has asked Congress to craft legislation allowing chief justices to indefinitely hold people without trial and suspend other constitutionally protected rights during coronavirus and other emergencies, according to a report by Politico. While the asks from the Department of Justice will likely not come to fruition with a democratically controlled House of Representatives.
Now I'm going to say it again. This is nothing new. This is old, old, old. I remember going to city council readings or council meetings and reading Obama executive orders that allowed, if you were someone like me suspected of being a member of a local militia, your wives and children could be tortured to get information on the militia. I spoke about that at a city council meeting, 15 years ago? What's next? Oh, you don't want to take the vaccination? You can head to the civil detention camps. Why? Because somebody's got parents who are smart enough to climb on the computer and research that this stuff is poison. Colloidal silver, guys. I'll probably get pulled for that. They're pulling videos teaching colloidal silver all over YouTube. Wouldn't want people protecting themselves against a cold or a virus or a fungus or a bacteria.
It's because we know the Democrats really care about your constitutional rights, right? They care about your First Amendment. That's why they're always trying to censor you. They care about your Second Amendment. That's why they're always trying to take your guns. They don't give a damn about your Fourth Amendment because they keep on propagating the long-failed, costly drug war, which is not a war on drugs. It's a war on people. They demonstrate how much this White House is a frightening disregard for rights enumerated in the Constitution. I just have to sit here and laugh. Hey, let's watch Politico pretend to care about your constitutionally protected rights. DOJ seeks new emergency powers amid coronavirus pandemic. One of the requests to Congress would allow the department to petition a judge to indefinitely detain someone during an emergency. The Justice Department has quietly asked Congress for the ability to ask chief judges to detain people indefinitely without trial during emergencies, part of a push for new powers that
Nothing new.
Coronavirus spreads throughout the United States.
Nothing new here at all. This is old. This is 20 years old.
Lawmakers on a host of topics, including the statute of limitations, asylum.
Same game plan, different crisis.
The Justice Department spokesperson declined to comment on the document. The move has tapped into a broader fear among civil liberties advocates and Donald Trump's critics that the president will use a moment of crisis to push for controversial policy changes, because we know that no politician ever does that, do they? They always let a good crisis go to waste. They never capitalize on it. They're not opportunists. They don't look at this as an opportunity to take more rights and accumulate more wealth for themselves and their banking overlords, do they? Guys, what's going on here is rights are being taken as they give you funny money. This is what's going on. Guys, they're always trying to take more rights from every one of us by every means possible. They'll go through everything in the book. They'll throw the kitchen sink at us to take more rights from us and to take more wealth from us. Check out this video from Fox News.
The White House Coronavirus Task Force wrapping up its briefing just minutes ago. Behind me on Capitol Hill, Senate negotiators are trying to agree on a bill that would give trillions of dollars to Americans amid the growing economic fallout of the coronavirus outbreak. With that, we bring in
the growing economic fallout of the coronavirus outbreak. There's a bigger virus we need to worry about, and we should have been worrying about it for decades. How about a century? How about 100?
Clock, you mean?
The stage rattled on over the countryside, that is, until it reached a certain obstacle.
It's the inspector.
Everybody out. Okay? One of you is a masked clock. Which is it? Not I, sir.
Nor I.
Don't give me that. You see, I can tell which one it is by searching you and finding my alarm clock.
But the two suspects remained steadfast.
Look, there's something you should know. I loaded that alarm clock with TNT, and it's due to go off any second. Now confess, or we'll all be blown up.
The seconds ticked by, but the wolf and the bear refused to admit anything. Suddenly, the clock, which was in the bear's pocket, broke the silence.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna go off. Here, take it, Inspector.
So you are the masked clock. No, sir, I am. Now, please.
The Republicans and the Democrats, red and blue.
It isn't really loaded with TNT. I just said that to trick you.
Well, it may not have been loaded with TNT, but whatever it was, the clock certainly didn't work too well. The wolf, the owl, and the bear all went on to bigger and higher things.
It serves him right, Pop.
You bet it does. That's why I say time heals all wounds.
That's not what I say. I say time wounds all heals.
7 years. That's the fallout of the Federal Reserve, the mischief of the Federal Reserve. There's no entity on this planet that causes more death and destruction and mayhem than the Federal Reserve. The coronavirus couldn't even come close. It's because of the Federal Reserve that we're deep in transgenerational debt slavery. It's because of the Federal Reserve that we can bail out corporations. It's because of the Federal Reserve that we can go to war. It's because of them that we can increase the coffers of the military-industrial complex and continue this long and costly and failed war on drugs, which is a war on people. It's because of the Federal Reserve that we drop bombs on foreign lands and kill innocent people. And it's because of the Federal Reserve that we can fund a militarized welfare warfare state that takes away more of our rights, more of our privileges, and more of our wealth.
Democratic California Congressman, friend of the show, member of the House Armed Services Committee, John Garamendi. Good to see you, sir. What is your understanding of the timeline here from negotiations that are ongoing now to when Americans who have been laid off might see some money in their checking account?
Probably, let's just get this straight. They're not going to see money in their checking account. Yeah, it's going to look like it's money. But all you're talking about is papering over a problem that's going to end up making the problem worse. Funny money is not real money. They are notes of debt. Federal Reserve notes of debt. And they may not even bother giving you paper money. They may just do this digitally. This may be the transfer of wealth that they're looking for to collapse the United States dollar and usher in a brand new world order currency.
That timeline, the legislative timeline will be this week, sometime, excuse me.
Took one look at the cigar and promptly headed for parts unknown. As for the jackrabbits, they decided to get their own water. But can you imagine their surprise at finding the well empty?
Hey, Mule, come back. Let us out of here.
So the mule had the last laugh after all. And that's why I say, he who laughs last, laughs best.
Gee, that's a swell fable, Pop, and a pretty good moral, too.
Yeah, only a pretty good one?
Well, I can think of a better one.
All right, let's have it.
You never miss the waiter till the well runs dry.
You never did. Oh, Junior.
Next week, midweek probably. How quick those checks will go out to be determined, probably a few weeks after that. Hopefully it's going to be very, very fast. However,
if you think this bailout would happen without the Federal Reserve, it's not possible. You have to have a dishonest money scheme based on mountains of credit to make this happen. Because no sound money or value will be transferred except the product of your time and your laboring energies as you pay back what they just gave you. Because I'm telling you guys, there's a payday someday. You gotta pay the piper. And how that's gonna materialize is massive price increases everywhere you go. For gas, for food, for lodging. Everything is about to go up. The world has changed again.
immediately available to people that are laid off is the unemployment insurance program, and quite possibly for small business interruption insurance, assuming we calculate this as not an act of God.
Real quick for you in California, your whole state is effectively under a shelter-in-place, shelter-at-home. What effect does this have?
That's what I want to get. Shelter-in-place? They're talking about suspending the Constitution through the DOJ. It's already been suspended. When the government tells you to do something against your will and without your consent, you have lost your constitutional rights. When the government has co-opted the money supply, remember what Amschel Rothschild said? He said, if you give me control of a nation's money, I care not who makes its laws. The people who have us by the balls are the bankers. The people who are wrecking the economy are the bankers. It's not the coronavirus. The coronavirus is a cover story, and we need to wake up and smell the coffee. If you guys got something out of this video, please like and share it with everybody you know on social media. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give them a thumbs up, share them with their...
Now I got to give a little plug here on a happier note. I'm not too much woo-woo, but if you see down here in the corner, this little gal, Lioness Tarot. Boy, for free, guys. Enlightening, wonderful. She's my telephone to something, so check her channel out. She's there to help people. She's in service to people, and if you just want an encouraging friend on the other end with some positive things to, you know, say, check out Lioness Tarot.
Everybody know, and don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactcoins.com. Remember, the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. And indifference to this...
Wow. Advertising woo-woos and ARs all at the same time. That's Reedsport Legal. You got to admit we're all over the place. Light and love, guys.
Ocean is the means by which the people will secure their own oppression. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow band video.
Land of the free, home of the slave. How about from protect and serve to comply or die? You guys know the t-shirt I'm looking for.
Yeah.
There it is. Protecting and serving the crap out of you. Love you guys. Help spread this channel. Anyhow, take care. Don't be scared. Be prepared.